Alright, today we got an instrument tier list. As a tuba player, this tier list is based and it is the correct opinion. Anybody else's opinion is incorrect. Anyways, let's get into it. So first we got flute. This is going to be in score order besides instruments like piano and guitar that you don't find in an orchestra. We got the flute, solid instrument, S tier. It sits in the front of the band, which is better, and it plays pretty high, and there are about 5.5 billion of them, um, which is a good thing. They can be a little bit loud, but you know what? It's whatever. Personality is usually pretty good. Um, Next up, we got the oboe. Um, the oboe, again, solid instrument, S tier. It sits in the front. It sits in the front of the band like the flute. Um, there's usually not too many of them, but it's fine because it's a decent instrument anyway. It can sound pretty exotic, and I like that. Um, and it has some really nice solos, like the solo in Swan Lake. Um, Next up, we got the clarinet. The clarinet, pretty solid instrument, S tier. It sits in the front of the band. There are also 5.5 billion of them, uh, and I can barely hear them except when they're playing alone. But you know what? It's fine because they sound pretty cool. Next, um, we got bassoon. That bassoon should actually be here. That's score order. Bassoon. I'm putting bassoon in S tier because it's sort of like a bass oboe. It has the same thing as an oboe except it's lower. So yeah, that's my opinion on the bassoon. Next we got bass clarinet. I don't know why the bass clarinet image is cropped like that, but that's supposed to be a bass clarinet. Um, Basically, pretty solid instrument. I like it. It's a bass voice. It's a lower clarinet, and I like that because I like low instruments. Like I said, I'm based. Next, we got um, alto sax. Pretty solid instrument. One of the best instruments that fits into both jazz band and an orchestra and a wind ensemble as well. Um, yeah, it sounds pretty cool. Transposition doesn't matter for this tier list. Uh, Next, we got tenor sax. Um, Basically just a lower alto sax, and the lower the better the instrument. But that's just my opinion. All these are S tier, including tenor sax because I think tenor sax is a good instrument. Next we got bari sax. Bari sax, pretty solid instrument. Like I don't know why the image is cropped. Um, like a tenor sax, but even lower. Um, Pretty good. Next we got trumpet. I don't know why the image is always cropped. But yeah, trumpet, pretty good instrument. Personality is probably the worst out of any personality in the band, but you know what? Whatever. It's a good instrument. That's what matters. Next, we got horns. Horns are amazing. Um, I, I love the. This would be my second instrument if I had to choose another instrument. Um, I just like the super. I just love the melodic lines, and their solos can be pretty cool too. Um, Next up, we got the trombone. Pretty good instrument. My bro plays it. You can actually see the pitch changing, and you can gliss better than anyone else. You can't really slur, but it's fine because gliss makes up for it. Next, we got the euphonium. I don't know why half of these images are cropped, but it's not my fault. Leave me alone. Smaller tuba. That's all I really have to say. Um, yeah, and since it's like a tuba, it's automatically a good instrument. Next, we got tuba. My instrument. Um, I'm putting it up here. Definitely not because it's my instrument. I'm putting it up there for a reason other than the fact it's my instrument. Like I said, I'm very based. Um, Next up, we got percussion. Pretty solid instrument. Um, I mean, pretty solid range of instruments. I don't know why the image is cropped, but it's supposed to be bass drum, snare, timpani, marimba, xylophone, vibes, and glock over here. I don't know why it's cut like that. I know that these aren't all the percussion instruments, but like I just didn't want to fit them all into one image. Um, Anyways, yeah, the rhythm section keeps the whole band together most of the time. Um, Anyways, next we got violin. Um, Pretty good instrument. There are about 5.5 trillion of them in the average orchestra because they play the melody more than they play the melody 90% of the time. Their personalities can be they're sort of a hit or miss. They're either pretty good or pretty bad. um, but yeah, pretty solid instrument. Next we got viola. Pretty. That's yeah. This is a viola. pretty solid instrument. It has like a bigger violin. It plays in tenor clef, which is kind of weird, but whatever. Or is it alto clef? I don't know. It's either alto or tenor clef. They look the same. Okay, leave me alone. Next we got cello. Um, Cello, pretty good instrument. I hope this is a cello and not a viola. I don't know. They kind of look similar from here. Actually, I don't know. Whatever. Um, yeah, it's pretty. It's like a even lower viola. It's sort of like a trombone, but for the string section. Next we got next we got bass. Putting this one, it's like an even lower cello. You have to stand up while playing it, but that's better because you don't have to sit down. I don't know if bass players have trouble with that, but I don't like sitting down. Um, Next up, we got piano. Pretty good instrument. 50% of 50% of non-musicians, if asked if they want to play an instrument, say piano, and it's a pretty good instrument. I played it for like a year, and then COVID happened, and then I stopped playing it. Um, but yeah, it's a pretty good instrument. Next, we got guitar. This is the other 50% of non-musicians when asked if they want to play an instrument. Uh, Pretty good instrument. Not a lot of people play it, but I like it. It's pretty good. Anyways, so here's my tier list for all the instruments that are commonly found in orchestra, plus 2 extras for the non-musicians out there. Yeah, let me know your thoughts, and yeah, here's my final tier list.